Hey everybody, this is Eric Worre and welcome to NetworkMarketingPro.com. Today is the fifth of our five-part series with Mr. Jonathan Budd, kind of a revolutionary, visionary young man, 28 years old, has gone from nothing to over $10 million in earnings during that period of time. Big believer in using technology to scale up your network marketing efforts, to grow more people to talk to. In our final show, this is the last of our series, I asked him very specifically, what would you do, step one, step two, step three, if you were going to go get started from scratch right now, what would you do? And in this show, he answers that and a lot more. Enjoy it. Do you think anyone who considers themselves a network marketing professional should use things like Facebook to generate more traffic and build more community?
Again, this is completely a question of preference/desire. Okay, I mean the proof is in the pudding right now. I've got several of my students who have the fastest growing teams in North America right now. Okay, I can give you countless examples of most of the top leaders in this industry who, may say things like, do this, do this, do this, and then they go over here and do this.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's obvious that everyone and their mom, if they can easily use technology to create an audience, the results of that are obvious. Right. The benefit is obvious. You know what I mean? That's why
it's a matter of how fast you want to go. If you want to go faster,
I would say it's a matter of
if you've tapped out your warm market or whatever,
and your commitment. To me, it's a matter of speed and commitment. Now, I think I've probably demonstrated that you can grow pretty fast, building audiences using technology. I'm not very old, you know what I mean? I'm pretty young. And this type of stuff that we've been able to do in an extremely short period of time is really record setting in large senses, for different segments of our industry. So the proof is in the pudding. There's tremendously huge audience available to people who really are committed and want to develop some new skills.
Okay.
How much you confuse yourself from that point on is really the mastery, because there's the potential to go down all these rabbit holes, but you don't need to go down any of them.
Right.
The reality is it's dead simple. You know what I mean? The same way you would pick one technique or method to, recruit prospects in the cold market, whether it's, hey, I'm going to post
running ads or whatever.
I'm going to buy leads, I'm going to call leads. You would pick one technique. I'm going to post a Facebook ad and I'm going to generate the leads. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm going to put up a banner on a site instead of a newspaper and I'm going to generate the leads. Right. I mean, it doesn't need to be any more complicated than that.
Right.
That's the reality of it.
Okay.
We can make it complicated by losing the fundamentals, by losing the principles, by chasing a bunch of rabbits. But, that's all part of our growth process, I think. And, we have to go through that growth process. A lot of times we see shiny objects and we chase them. We're human beings. But as you refine your own skill set in that area and you learn how to focus and you don't get distracted by the shiny objects, then there's immense power in the simplicity of one really powerful advertising medium, really powerful audience building method, and you focus on that and nothing else. There's immense power in that.
Well, let me ask you this. We're not going to have the time to provide an in-depth training or whatever on this particular interview. Yep. This is an exploration for me. It's an exploration of what's the best way for warm market and cold market to blend. What's the best way for things to coexist? What's the best way to find processes that will duplicate, that still allow human interaction, that still allow relationship building, right? So that's what this is all about. I'm so intrigued by this, and that's why we had our Cold Market Mastermind event, and you did such a great job at that Cold Market Mastermind event, is having this conversation, just having a conversation, and I guess I'm trying to shepherd the process a little bit, saying, look, try and stand in the middle and hold hands of both groups that are like, hardcore coal market or hardcore warm market. Just say, look, we're still trying to find a way to create a list, contact, invite, present is similar to creating a list online, contacting, inviting, and presenting. We're using some technology here and there, but we're still having human interaction. We're still having face-to-face. It still changes relationships when we get face-to-face. So anyway, I appreciate the fact that we're just having the conversation, and I hope the audience is getting value from this conversation, kind of going, I wonder if I could add this. I wonder if maybe I could add that. And if I learned enough about this, maybe I could do that. But why don't you, and we didn't prepare for any of this, why don't you give me the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. If you were starting today, right now, today, actually, go as far as you want. But literally, I want you to play a game with me, Jonathan. You're starting today. The only way you can make money is building an MLM downline. And what would you, and you don't know anybody, you just got dropped into the United States by parachute. All you have is a computer and $1,000. What would you do, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, to quickly build an organization from scratch?
Well, the first thing I would do is I would invest in myself to make sure that, and that could look like anything, could be money, it could be time, it could be energy, it could be anything, but I would make sure that I am completely unstoppable.
Right.
I would invest in myself to make sure that I am unstoppable, and I'm coming from a place of pure power. Because I don't really care what the technique is, I don't really care what the tactic is. The heart of success, the heart of creation, the heart of manifesting in life is coming from that place of pure power.
Got it.
And whatever that means for you, right? So I would make sure that, first of all, that's my place that I'm coming from. Then, from that place, influence is fairly easy. Your enthusiasm, if you can get a prospect on the phone, when you're coming from that place, the enthusiasm you have is going to affect people.
Right.
So I would go and I would start a Facebook fan page. I would put up a little ad inside of my Facebook wall, because you can put up a little page inside your wall, and I would position myself as, somebody who's looking to mentor others wanting to reach their goals in life, in this particular medium. So I've got a vehicle, I've got a medium in which I want to mentor you, which is network marketing. I want to show you how to, create this type of income in network marketing. I'm looking for XYZ people, or however I want to position that, right? I'd craft the languaging so that it sounds good, right? It sounds unique. And I would take that $1,000 and I'd spend a few $100, and I'd go and I would drive a few hundred people to that page, and I would start to generate my first leads. Out of that few hundred people, I'd probably have about 30 leads. And so out of that 30 leads, I would call every single one of them. I would build my relationships, and I would hope to get my money back, which I think I would. I'd probably close my closing ratios. I definitely think I'd close 1 out of 30. I'd probably end up getting about 15 people on the phone. If I can get 15 people on the phone, I'm definitely closing at least 1, right? So I'd probably close 1 or 2. If the fast start commission of my opportunity is $100, $125, I just made my few $100s back for advertising. So now I've created something that is somewhat sustainable. I can do that again and again and again. And within the first, few months that I do that, now I'd probably have, 1,000 people that are, maybe following me on my fan page. I'd have maybe 500 people that are, leads that I've generated that are in my autoresponder that I can mail anytime I want. And I've probably got 10 people on my team. So now from there, I just continue to scale. I mail the leads more so that turns into more money. I spend that more money on advertising,
and
so that
you're providing value on your fan page along the way.
Oh, of course, the whole time. I mean, that's why the crux of everything is first developing yourself.
Yeah.
Because if we don't have the value, if we don't develop our value so that it's overflowing, then we're not able to attract people in the same way. That's why the focus always has to be in here. It always has to be in here. For me personally, is where I focus.
Right.
But the whole time, you're creating value by sharing content on your fan page and posting videos and things that inspire you. You know what I mean? You're just sharing the things that inspire you, the things that affect you. You're sharing your lessons. You're sharing what's impacting your life right now. Where are you learning? Where are you growing? If you just do nothing but share that, you're going to be impacting people all along the way. All along, people are going to be impacted by you. And so that simple little process is literally how I started. Except I didn't even have Facebook. I had a stinking, clicking traffic thing.
Right.
Just taking the money that comes in and continuously investing it so that those leads grow a little bit more day by day by day, and the whole thing just kind of compounds and compounds.
While the community's growing and the influence is growing, traffic is growing, people are starting to notice, people are starting to like and recommend and share some of your posts, and it starts getting around.
Your influence is really building because the more people you talk to, the better you get at talking to people. Right. So now your conversation gets really refined.
So you're not talking about just sending out an email and say join, click this link. You're getting a lead and you're calling them and you're going through the process of presenting. There's also some technology that I'm really intrigued with and I really think is fascinating with the automated webinars, where you can create a little presentation that looks and feels like it's live and happening right that second. People schedule a time to be on it, but the software has created the ability for that to be automated, so it can work for all of your prospects. What's that done to the acceleration of organizational growth recently?
It's the most savvy way to present things today. So in this industry, we're always looking, the formula is simple. Find a prospect, have a good presentation, you put them in front of. Mm-hmm. That's really it, right? Well, on the internet, the best way to present things are webinars. There's no other medium that gets as much engagement, as much attendance, as much, just sort of liveness to it as a webinar. It's alive. And so, we've known this for a long time. The problem is very difficult to automate. How do you automate a webinar? You always need to be doing them, and that's not a problem. But the technology that we've now kind of developed and that's, emerging in the industry that makes it possible to just scale and automate more is the automated webinar technology. And I think that it's, for anybody that wants to automate their presentation process and have the same effectiveness of that live sort of, you're at the event right now listening to the presentation feel, it's an extremely useful tool.
Well, the other thing that it's really good for, because I use automated webinar software, is I can do video. I don't have to have a PowerPoint with somebody talking behind the PowerPoint. So for me, I'm a visual person. Literally, you can go to your opportunity meeting at your hotel, and you can pull out your flip cam, and you can flip cam that presentation and make that your webinar.
Any video you want.
Any video you want. It's so cool. And then you can schedule when it's going to be, how long it's going to last, how people can register. I mean, it's so slick. So I know you're working on some stuff, and I'm excited about being involved with helping people find out about some of the automated webinar stuff that they can make available. Because I think every single person, you could do a 5-minute or a 10-minute webinar on some topic that is beneficial for network marketing or any other niche, and you can use it.
And when you think about it from an advertising perspective, I mean, this is essentially what it boils down to. How simple would it be for you to invite people to attend a class?
Yeah.
Okay? A free class, an online class, where they get to learn about X, Y, and Z, which at the end of the day is helping them achieve their goals.
Right.
Okay? So that you get to invite them to a free class. Okay? That's all you got to do. Is how difficult is it to invite people to attend a free class that's helping them?
Right.
And then that class is set up to present amazing, useful information, your presentation, and at the end, recruit them.
Right.
Enter them into your sales funnel, enter them into your sales cycle, right? So they can literally click a button if you want and become another lead. They can become an application, and you can have all their information to follow up with them, which is a laser targeted lead. They could click the button to buy your opportunity right then and there, and it takes them straight to your distributor replicated site where they can sign up.
Yep.
I mean, it's all automated though. All you got to do is invite them to a class. They attend the class. They watch a presentation. You specifically tell them the action steps to take next. And if they liked your presentation, they're going to, a percentage of them are going to do it.
What's cool is the communication is automated. The relationship still needs to be developed. And that's the juice. You know, that's the blend again. We got automation. We can't just push a button. It's going to go recruit the world. Otherwise, companies wouldn't need us. They would just have a replicated site out there that would just, you know, blast the world, and they wouldn't need distributors. We still need to have the relationship. But I do think some of the heavy lifting can be done for people who are, you know, they made a mistake. They screwed up, and they went out and they just torched their warm market. And, you know, now they got some rebuilding to do. Or they've hit a wall, or they want to go faster. I mean, this can be a real benefit for the people who want to do that. I don't want to spill the beans or anything, Jonathan. And the purpose of this conversation wasn't for anything other than to just have the conversation about the blend of these two things. But I do want to let people know that we're working on something together, or I'm going to participate in something that you're going to be rolling out soon that's going to help people build traffic, build a community, build influence, have the tools, including the automated webinar software and all that stuff, to be able to just really go faster. And I know that it's not out for public consumption yet, but can you share anything about what's, in general, what you're working on, what my piece of it's gonna look like, and where we go from here?
Sure, my friend. I'd love to. You know, for me, I think the message has really crystallized a lot in terms of, you know, what I've realized really creates powerful results in this industry. And it's really come down to audience and influence for me, right? And so I know that that's the two biggest things most people don't have. Mm-hmm. The two biggest things most people are lacking is what's going to be their way that they build their audience. Because we all need to build an audience somehow. Whether that audience is our warm market that we already have, or whether that audience is an audience that we need to create, or whether we think even way bigger than that and we want to create a massive audience for the sheer sake of creating a massive audience. I mean, that's not going to hurt you in life. You know what I mean? The larger your audience is, the more successful you're going to be, period, end of story. So for me, it's really crystallized to showing people all of the most effective ways today to build audiences for themselves, and how do they influence those audiences, and how, you know, really what are the most effective ways today for how we build audience and influence them. And that's the crux of all I really want to teach. Mm-hmm. And, you know, for the record, my story, my whole background, how I built all my organizations was the phone. Mm-hmm. I used the internet to create insane audiences, but I got all those audiences on. I got those people on the phone, right? When I built that organization to 50,000 a month in 60 days, I was on the phone all day long, every single day, for months and months and months and months straight, doing nothing but scaling that organization. Right. Same thing with the next one. So, because I did it again 12 months later. Unfortunately, that company had terrible leadership. And these are all the things that you learn when you're really young. Yeah, the leadership, not so hot there. So I went to another company and we did it again. We put 2,400 people in that company in 4 months. And that one, you know, grew even faster. Right. So, you know, the results are there. The science is there. If you focus on audience and you focus on influence, and you continue to scale those two things, there's no limit to how fast you can go and how big you can go. There's just no limit, you know?
Right. Well, I'm gonna be working. Jonathan is putting together a kind of a comprehensive audience and influence. What's working today, this second, using technology, combining that with warm market. What's really working, not just theory. What's really working. And I'm going to be helping him with at least one of the modules in that.
I'm really excited about yours, my friend.
Yeah,
I mean,
me too.
you have just crushed it with this particular model. I can't wait to get that out there to thousands of more people too. I mean, it's going to be fun.
We're having fun. And I just want everybody to know that's coming. It's coming in the matter of, in the month of July. Don't know I have the exact details. There's nothing to sell you in this conversation at all. If you do have an interest, stay tuned. We'll let you know. When the time comes, there'll be a little bit of opportunity, and you'll be able to increase your audience. You'll be able to increase your influence. You'll be able to increase your satisfaction and your paycheck and everything else. Let me wrap up by giving you the floor, Jonathan. This interview will be viewed by 250,000 people in total by the time it's done. Look these people in the eye and tell them, give them your message, whatever you want to tell them, however you want to close this out.
Wow. Well, hopefully the heart came through. For me, the heart is everything, right? At the end of the day, we talk about, there's all these different tactics, there's all these different, trainings, there's all these different ways to accomplish our goal. But none of that is really the most important thing at the end of the day. At the end of the day, the most important thing is right here. Right here. For me, it is all about heart in this industry. You have got to, focus on creating a heart of gold. The biggest possible heart you can create. Care about people so much, care about yourself so much, that when people enter your heart space, they're just magnetized to you. They're affected by you. And I'm telling you, that's the place that the best things in this industry are created from. And when you look at Eric, what do you see? You see his heart. The man has a humongous heart. And that the size of that heart is really what creates the audience. And so I love, the earliest days of my experience in this industry, because that's still where I source so much of my heart from. All of that struggle and how it felt to just be in that position, and my desire now to give back. My desire, the gratitude that you feel, when things change is really like, that's why I get a lot of my inspiration from, a lot of my power. So all I would really say, my friends, is, focus on making your heart as big as it can possibly be. Love people, love yourself as much as you can possibly love them, and then learn a few good methods to increase your audience. And I'm telling you, the rest, it does itself. You stay committed, you stay focused, but with that as your core, and you learn a few good methods to increase your audience, and, you're going to live a dream life.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed our 5-part series with Mr. Jonathan Budd. He's done a great job, I think. It was an interesting conversation. I hope you got through all the technical challenges of that audio echo and the volume issues, but sometimes, because technology is amazing, we're able to do that via Skype. I'm in Ukraine, he's in Southern California, and we're able to do that with the use of technology, another example of how we can communicate. But sometimes it's a little glitchy, especially when you're dealing around the world. But I hope you got value from this. I hope you got some ideas. I hope you got some information. I hope it started maybe to open up your mind. Like he talked about, that one guy expanded his mind a little bit, so he started thinking a little bit bigger. I hope you're thinking a little bit bigger. Network marketing is a better way. We have a chance to do more things today than ever before, because we can connect with people all over the world. using technology, finding people who are searching for answers, and give them answers. So I'm excited about that. Hope you got value today. And ladies and gentlemen, my wish for you is that you decide to become a network marketing professional. You decide to go pro, because it is a stone cold fact that we have a better way. Now let's go tell the world. Everybody have a great day. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.